Okay, so we'll go through this slide. I'll just explain to you what we have in mind, what's ahead of us the next 3 months, every Tuesday, every Monday, as the product review and ranking project. So immediately I go through this, we'll discuss the roadmap or what will be happening, and then as a class, we will just brainstorm. Yeah, this is our class, so we need to drive it the way we want in terms of the project to adopt. So each one of us will have the opportunity to just say, how about we take this, how about we take this, and then any other person who has a different opinion can contribute. So it's just basically brainstorming session, where the objective of that brainstorming session is to pick the best project that one is going to be used outside there by real people. And then two, we need to be realistic on the timelines we have. The project that we need to do should be out in 3 months. And then three, we need to be clear of what we expect to learn in the process in terms of the technical skills that we will all acquire along the process. So that's the objective. And out of the brainstorming session, the best for us guys to consider ourselves as the brainstorming session to be successful, we need to come up with a project that is adopted by everyone. Your project may not be picked, but whichever project that is picked, you need to give it your 100%. I can tell you for a fact, 3 projects that have begun, I made proposal, but none of them picked my project. So they came up with their own project and we adopted it, and we are going to do it and we are going to deliver it. So I encourage you guys to think outside the box and pick a project that we will all take to production and make noise about it. All right. So product reviews and ranking. Product reviews is basically all these statements are. Brenda, you mentioned something. You are looking at feedback from guys at Strathmore. You might want to tell us about that when we are brainstorming. Yeah, and is that correct, Brenda?
Yeah.
You are looking at feedback from students, yeah?
Yeah. So students at SBS.
At
They're not like
SBS.
Strathmore students.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay, okay. You might want to share with us that a bit later.
Okay.
So product reviews is, let me say you have a product, and products are normally sold all over. Almost everyone who is not in the service industry but is in business, they are selling a product. Supermarkets are known for this, e-commerce websites are known for this. So people always have something, 1 or 2 things to say about the product being sold. Either I love this product, I bought it the other time, the product I had to return it, I threw it away. So the product review is just a process in which you get all those products reviews from, you pick the product reviews from whichever source. It could be a website, it could be an e-commerce, it could be any data source outside there. In our case, it would be nice that we get a set of data that is very, very dirty and realistic, so that in the process you also learn how to clean it up and process. We should not go for data that is already available, that has already been cured by all these other data sources like Kaggle or Zindi or all these competition sites, where most of the data is ready. We should look for data that is extremely dirty. So in the process, we learn data cleaning. So that is review, and now ranking is a gist added to it, where whoever is going to be consuming these product reviews, how would you communicate to them the importance? Like now, these people, they are most likely interested in looking at the reviews with an intention, with a specific intention, with a specific, they want to make a certain decision. So when you rank product reviews in a certain, using a certain way, then you will tell them these reviews, I'm ranking them according to either relevance or importance. So when you combine product reviews and ranking, you're empowering, or you're making the life of a decision maker slightly easier, as compared to just looking at product reviews. Product reviews, you need to add in something onto it to make it add value, like now ranking. So by and large, that is going to be the scope of this project. As a class, you're going to decide which specific domain to pick, which specific domain, and of what importance. Of what importance would that review be? Of what importance would that review be? And what would be our target customers? And is these target customers, what is it that we are going to be selling to them? Okay, we will come to that immediately after understanding the process. So what we want to do is, at the end of this exercise, we want to package a model that whatever product that we want reviewed, someone can just query, send a simple query. Something like, what do people think most about Blueband? So the model should respond with a very, very easy reply. Blueband out of 10, 6 people like it, and the most important comments are as below. Or 2 people like it the past 1 week. So just think outside the box. These are not, imagine these decisions or these comments I'm coming up with, I'm thinking about them right now. So it's not like something that I've pre-thought about. So that is how I want us to run the next session. So a problem that can be consumed by many people, and it can be tested. So people can be excited and say, okay, let me test what these people see. And in the process of testing, we are collecting more data, and this model can now grow and get better. And then another thing I want to say about my approach is we will start learning from the very basic. So we will first start with econometric methods. Well, econometric method, I'm talking about statistical and mathematical. Like now, it's largely biased on the normal algorithms you come across, random forest, logistic, all these classification algorithms. Yeah. We start out with the basics, and then we advanced. We advanced to more complicated methods like deep learning. So you use the same project to learn both, to get into machine learning in a specific domain, in this case, product reviews. And then you see, can we solve this using deep learning, and what would be the benefit? So by the time you're getting there, you have a relationship. It's like you've gotten intimate with the way the problem is being addressed. So that will give you a lot of maturity in solving such problems, because you understand it from start to end. As compared to someone who said, I know deep learning is good and it solves a lot of problems, let me solve this problem using deep learning. It will solve it, yes, but I strongly feel they won't have the intimacy you need when solving such problems, because the algorithm would then solve something without even you knowing that it was actually a problem. But if you did a problem with a classic method, or say random forest, for instance, and then you observe that random forest has a certain issue, why can't I go beyond 70%? And I have done every single thing. I've done every single optimization. And then by the time you move this to deep learning, and then you see now you're at 80, and then there is a certain concept that now comes out clear on the way deep learning does its decision making, then you realize and appreciate, and you'll be able to explain better why the limitation of random forest, for instance, as compared to solving a problem with deep learning. And you'll appreciate even much better the techniques, the more advanced techniques in solving certain problems. So that is my approach, and I believe It is the best approach, especially if you really want to articulate your decisions based on facts, based on what you've experienced, as compared to basing it on theory. So when you deliver a 90% model using deep learning, and someone else delivers an 80% model using deep learning, if this person who did 80% started with a classification, um, the normal classic algorithms, he will have answers for one, why he chose deep learning, and he will also have an answer of why he feels 80% is better than 90%. Yeah, and he will be able to convince whoever is bothered to whoever asked that question. He'll be able to convince that my 80% is better than the other person 90%. It's because you got intimate with the process. I'm not so sure if you guys are aware, but Netflix turned down um, Netflix, I think a few years back, it gave out a competition where number one earned a lot of money and number two also, of course, earned a lot of money, but they made a decision to go with number two as compared to number one. So if this was an interview, then someone who has worked the process from the ground up would be able to ace that interview and convince the other guy that if you go for this other dude, you're most likely um, to make the wrong decision, regardless of the other one having 90% and my 80%. I can justify why you should go to production with 80% and not 90%. So it's you're commanding that. So that is the approach I will take through the class. So if you feel at any given time that what we are covering is basic, then the only option you do is contribute to the basics so that we work faster and we benefit all of us. And the time that we get to the complex one, now it will be your um, it will be very, very helpful for everyone. Okay. All right. So the next thing we are going to do is the first thing we're going to do, of course, is today's class, which is just intro. It is just intro and understanding of the process. Immediately after the intro, we'll have sessions. I'll share what will be covered in each session. We need to have 9 sessions in total because the 10th session will be our demo day where we'll need to have illustrated to an invite. I will invite a lot of people. Hopefully people will turn up. Where now you guys, not me, you guys will now agree on yourselves how you do that demo and how you explain the concept, and you probably answer the questions that will be asked. So after the demo, then you'll have a platform to now proceed as you wish. You will have gotten the basic and groundwork that you need. So I believe after the demo, you'll be able to work alone in this field and actually contribute through such forums, contribute to the community, because the community needs a lot of people to provide guidance. Okay. So the first thing, or rather, I won't say in order. I will organize this so that it's a story that is building up. But some of the things that we will cover, we'll do EDA for textual data. Yeah, this is just basically exploring those reviews, something that is done in NLP a lot. Even the NLP guys, the next class they'll be doing is data cleaning. So if we get data, we will need to clean it. Depending on the project that we pick, we might need to revise which one comes first, and that's why I did not put it in any particular order. So of course there will be data cleaning, introduction to the product, and then exploratory data analysis for textual data. There's something called pairwise ranking. We will also cover that, what it is, what's its importance, at what stage should we do that pairwise ranking. And then we will do text processing, basically trying to figure out a way of detecting language. What alternatives are there? Yeah. We have language detection Python libraries. Is that the best alternative, or do we consider other alternatives as well? Excuse me. Can we come up with our own alternative? How to identify and deal with gibberish? Gibberish is just a lot of noise in text data. And then insults, and some vulgar language within the text. Um, how to handle spelling correction? Do we need to have that before we do our classification? So we'll have a session or maybe two that covers some of these things. And feature engineering, we'll also look at extracting relevance from the data itself. And then we will play around with sentiment analysis. I know this is common, but it's just a journey, and I felt it necessary to put it in this class. We'll also look at the richness of text, and then we look at visualizing the extracted features per class, extracted features per class. So we play around with the visuals for that, and then explain and understand ranking, pairwise ranking. How we can now deal with ranking as a classification problem. We will play around with random forests and do evaluation metrics. We build a model and we push it to a production pipeline. Now, all that, yeah, for product reviews, and it's going to be thorough. And that's the reason why I want to encourage you guys to be thorough in your thought process, in the way you take up these classes, the way you contribute. Let's all be thorough, because we don't want to come back here again. We want to, by the time we are done, if someone asks you, how do you solve a product review? I say, okay, I can actually be the project manager in that kind of problem solving team. Yeah, because I've done it before. So you speak with a lot of authority. Okay, so we will develop the model and push it to production. And I've provided two platforms within which we'll push it to production. And I am actually the one coding these platforms in Python. So the first phase, there's nothing preventing you from learning how to code it and exposing it in your own platform. Uh, the objective of this class is for you to understand and learn how to build a machine learning model, not Python. So that is why I feel, and actually deploy it to production. That is why I feel there's need for me to actually go an extra mile and make that platform available. So once you're done with the modeling, or rather once we are done with the modeling, everyone else, our target customers, can actually interact with it. And I've provided two. The first one is a website that is available to everyone else. So we will think through how we want our model to people to interact with. Do we want people to interact with it via text? Do we want people to interact with it via forms? So we build a form and then people enter some fields and then they submit and then the model responds back. Or do you want to make it conversational? Conversational is via chat, all right? And the second platform is an Android-based app. Yeah. So if for as long as these models are accessible, you can build your own model and make it accessible on your platform or any other platform, and then bill for it. Because it's accessible from a REST API, you can come up with a commercial billing so that as you market your model, people who are interested in it, you just give them what is called API keys and stuff, and then you build them. Not everyone is focused on sentiment analysis. There is so much applications to this kind of approach, but no one is doing it, no one has done it. Providing model as a service. So but if you look at it, machine learning engineers are rare, data scientists are rare. Everyone wants a model, but the people building these models are rare. So it takes ages to build to train someone to build a model. And if we can spend 3 months building a very, very good model, there's nothing absolutely preventing you from creating an API and marketing this model for whoever wants to use it without them having to either invest so much as people are currently investing or even taking people for training. Okay. So that is your decision. As long as you acquire the skills, you can acquire the skills for machine learning model, you can acquire the skills for programming, you can acquire the skills. You have programmers, you expose it and let people use it. Okay. So basically that's it for the next couple of classes. Like I said, the maximum number of classes will be 9. So everything needs to be condensed into 9 classes. I will share that pipeline. And the 10th class will actually be a demo. If there is any question up to that point, Mafrika, I noticed you joined when we are ongoing, Mafrika and Felista. There is something we had done earlier. We had introduced ourselves, said what we do, our level of expertise in machine learning and data science in general, as well as your expectations. What are your expectations? I'll go with you first, Felista. Please just introduce yourself, tell us your experience, level of expertise, and your expectation out of this particular project.
Hello,
Hi, hi.
I'm Felista. I'm just a third year in JQuat. My expertise in machine learning, thanks to you for the previous sessions that we had in the beginning of the year, that now I can say that I'm in a intermediate level for machine learning and also have interest in NLP. I registered for product reviews because I think the name product reviews is an interest since when like you go to website like Jumia, you want to buy a product, then you have to go back to the reviews to try to identify which like which type of item you really want, and the reviews the people who have actually used the item before has already have recommended all like they're rejecting the item. Yeah, that's all. Okay,
Yeah,
by now yeah, I think learning actually I'm new to this, so like I'm learning. I will be learning. By the end of the day I will have something, yeah, that I can able to
we lost you. I think we lost you there a bit, Felista.
to produce a model to
Okay.
analysis. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Awesome, Felista. It's good you caught the word product reviews. Uh, the reason why this is such an important exercise, you can imagine if you wanted to buy some shoe from a specific vendor, you will first, if the website or if the source of the sale does not rank those reviews, or the review is biased such that only the positive ones they've displayed it, you would want to scroll through maybe even 6, 7 before you check it out. But if you had a central place where you could specify whatever you're buying and specify the seller, then if we have a central place where all these reviews are there based on the seller, then just 2 questions and you get your answer. And that's it. I think it will make life very, very easy. Good stuff. Mofrika? Is Mofrika around? Or Mofrika, are you with us? Okay, his chat. Let me see the chat there. Oh, okay, no problem, Africa. Once you sorted it, you can always let us know. Then you can have a chance to share with the rest of the guys. Once you have the mic issue sorted. All right. So I'm going to open it up to the floor. Felista, for the sake of Felista, I'm not so sure. Felista, do you know David?
Not so sure.
Oh, okay,
Not so
okay.
sure.
So for the sake of Felista, Devi and Brenda, you just introduce yourself as you also mention what you think about this project and which project do you think of? Maybe when you're coming to learn about this, you had a project in mind, and which one would you propose we do as a class? Over to you, Brenda. You'll start. You'll start us off.
Again, my name is Brenda Kira, and so for the project, I think we should do. I liked what Felista was talking about when you're looking for an item, you getting a review from it. Most of them are usually biased, or you can't read through all the reviews that are in the website. So maybe we could work on something like that, somewhere where the products are ranked according to the reviews, instead of having to go through all the reviews people have written. And most of the sites, they'll be biased, of course, so most of the time they won't tell you the truth. Yeah, so maybe we can work on something like that, something in that line. Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Devi?
Okay, so hi everyone.
Hi.
My name is David. For the project, I think I was thinking about the industry of travel. Maybe you could be thinking of taking a trip or a vacation, and you're wondering about which destination you could go to, about the hotels, things like that, and you could try and look at the reviews to understand which maybe agency is the best to go with, or which destination is better, which hotels are ranked better than others. Yeah, I think that is the idea that I had.
Nice. Nice. Wow. Okay. Good stuff. We will come to discuss more about each of the ideas. Felista, do you have any specific project you have in mind?
Okay, I didn't have any specific project, but I just had like the website. I'll go into the Play Store, then you want to download an app. First, you have to check the reviews. And I have noticed sometimes maybe somebody anapeana reviews regarding to the experience she or he had with the Naples product, and maybe it can be different from the person. So maybe I really didn't have any specific project, but I just have so many things where you have to first to look for the reviews before you decide on whether to take it or to leave it.
Okay, so you're open-minded for as long as we all agree on a specific review project. You'll be good, huh?
Yes.
All right, all right. I don't know if Mwafrika is done with Mike. I know at times technology inatuangusha kabisa. Mwafrika, could you confirm, even if it's via chat? Okay. So I'm assuming he's yet to solve it. So it's okay. There are so many things. Huh? Let's give it some more thought. Huh? Uh, okay. So Africa will be passive today. No worries. No worries. Okay. So let's think it. Let's think through what people normally do on a daily basis, and from that, because you see, what drives each of these projects? What drives each of these projects? It should be solving a specific problem. And if it solves a specific problem, it will attract all the necessary attention. And this is how we figure out which one is really painful to go through. So we start by what do people do on a daily basis, and in the process of doing it, what are some of the pains? And it's good, Felista has pointed out, you might want to hear someone else's thought before you buy whatever it is you're buying. And more often than not, it comes when the price is beyond a certain budget. Yeah, it's beyond a certain budget. So to some people, spending like 1,000, it's like, okay, let me just try. Nikienda sare ya thao, haina shida. To some people, spending that 1,000 atakuwa ameuliza like almost 20 people. You get? So what is passionate? What would make someone? What are some of these things that people buy that makes someone go the extra mile? That is one approach to look at it. Another approach is what Devi had brought out. There are some people who are very, very particular with their holidays and how they go for holiday. They want to maximize and make sure that the holiday is really good, starting from the best places, the itinerary for that holiday, who you go there with, the pricing, of course. So I want us for some time to think through, if it's costs, can we narrow down to a specific product? I know we will scale definitely, but this product would be what people buy and people talk about it, so that whenever anyone ever thinks of buying that product, they know there is a community who has given us access to their reviews, so that they really get the reviews, and we can add in some juice that this product, regardless of who's providing it, all those reviews are consolidated. So we need to think through what is this product, and then narrow down to that particular product. Okay, so the solution would be X product reviews and ranking. So if you want to buy this X product, you'd better have our platform, otherwise you're most likely kuungua. Yeah, and then the next one inaweza kuwa a service. What is this service that before someone acquires, anataka kuuliza maswali mingi sana, and it could scale through so many things. It could scale through, for instance, what Devi has said. Devi has said hotel industry, transport. When you want to know the hotel, very, very exciting. Yeah, and service could also mean, right now people are buying a lot of bundles or internet because of working from home. There's a lot of talk about, where do I get the best internet? How much does it cost per month? You see, this discussion more or less is normally confined in the vendors. Like now, the people providing these solutions are the people answering that question. More often than not, it is a biased answer. Yeah. And is there a window within which we could slide in and say, this is the service we want to be known to be good at? So you'd rather talk to us if you wanted to understand about internet access for home. If you don't, you're most likely to get a raw deal. But we will just tell you what people are talking about outside there. So we will use machine learning to try and figure out which are the honestly and genuinely good positive recommendations that can come out, so that if you want to buy internet, for instance, you'd better go here. And then internet is relative. Some people, when you buy internet on a certain region, the experience is far much better than on another region. And all these regions are from a specific vendor. Yeah. So you'd also want to know, if I make a phone call to region X and ask, hey, by the way, I want to buy data bundle, I want to buy home internet, yeah? Who should I work with? That guy is in region X. Region X is being provided by company A. So, and company A is very good in that region. So this guy will say, hey, me, I use company A. But over here, maybe company A has no infrastructure. Maybe company A has a couple of issues around here. So me, I'll go buy company A and I experience something bad. The only way we will cover this is from listening to the people within those specific regions. So our thought process and our problem discovery should revolve around getting answers not from the providers, but from the users. And that is why now these reviews are coming from, because answers from providers are more often than not a biased answer, and biased for all the good reasons, because they're in business. All right. So we have things that we need to think through. A product, service. Service could be an itinerary, like what Devi has said, yeah, or service could be a specific service, like now home internet. And even that itinerary, it could be broken down. Now, when you're talking about specific service, it stands alone. So it could be hotel reviews, for instance, hotel reviews. But if you're talking about holiday reviews, holiday is not a product. It's a service that holiday starts from the day, the booking process. Are you flying? Are you driving? Where do you go to? Where do you sleep? What food do you eat? So by the time someone is making a review on a holiday experience, then our data set we know we are going to look for is holiday experience, not hotel only. Because if we provide only hotel to advise someone who's talking about holiday service, our model is going to be biased. Because the experience of a certain hotel is not the answer to the problem. The holiday experience is accumulation of what that person goes through from the day they start their holiday all the way the day the holiday comes to an end. So as guys, I want us to think through. One, which kind of review should we do? Should it be product or should it be service? And if it is service, which service? And if it is, okay, there are three options: product, service, or experience. Yeah. So experience review is something unique. I don't think there is any review that is called experience, but these are things that are, like I said, these are things that I'm just thinking about right now. Yeah, based on the problem. If it is new, we might just be the first people to come up with it and look at how we can solve that problem. Experience review. If it is a service, then which service should it be? If it is an experience, which experience should it be? If it is a product, which product should it be? So this is the point where I want us to take a 10 minutes break. We are not so many. Africa, you'll just type what you think in the, if I knew sign language, ungekuwa unajua hata wewe sign language, we would be communicating, but now we have chat, so we will not leave you behind. Your contribution are equally very important. So if you have anything to say, please just chat, and I will. The other guys can access your thought process, and I can read it out. And then after the break, we consolidate and agree on one of those three. And this one creates a good foundation to scale and even solve more problems, or maybe even solve all of the three, and create a benchmark Who knows? So I want us to take a break. 2 things for each one of you. After the break, we need to come up with a specific direction in terms of which kind of review you're going to do, product, service, or experience. And then in whichever path we choose, in whichever type of review we choose, which product or which service or which experience. Okay? If there is anyone with a question, Mafrika, if you're good, just say we are good on chat. We'll be able to read it through. Devi, iko swali yote?
Niko poa.
Uko poa?
Eh,
Perfect. Brenda?
I'm okay.
Okay, yeah? Okay, perfect. Hata Mwafrika anasema yuko poa kabisa. So that's good. So what we will do, think through that. Immediately after the break, we come back and we discuss further. Now, once we identify those 2, there'll be further discussion on how then do we approach, what are some of the things we need to look out for, where will we get this data. And just to mention a project that is currently being done by the NLP team. The NLP team, I think, has almost, I think it's the biggest. And some of this thing is NLP. The NLP team, what we did, we went through exactly what we are going through with you guys today. I made suggestions, they made suggestions, and everyone made suggestions. We narrowed down to 1, yeah? So as a class, we identified a very, very good project. And I am excited and I thank God we picked on that project because it is definitely going to be impactful, yeah? And for that project, we think of, we are building a chatbot, a retrieval-based chatbot. And this chatbot is going to be helping people do what? Helping job seekers get jobs and helping people looking for jobs, people looking for employees to get the employees. And the person who, it's like the bot is now the broker. And the data source of all this is Twitter. So if you're looking for someone, you just need to tweet. If you're looking for an employer, you just need to tweet. And you will get, the bot will give you all that. So if you're, for instance, where this plays a very important role is, if you're not following the person who's posting the job, will you ever get to know about this job posted? The answer is no. If you're not following that person, and if you're not subscribed to that kind of channel, you're most likely not to get. But if you ask a bot, the bot could just scrap any tweet that is for job posted and stuff. And if it has been done before, then that's good. As guys, we are just doing it for learning. If it has not been done before, then we'll just be delivering something that would be needed by people. And immediately after we go to live, it is more likely to go viral. So thinking of a mass solution would be good if you guys even had the same kind of thoughts. What is this thing that would really attract interest from the mass? And on the day of go live, people would be very, very interested in it. Okay? So that is the thought process. We meet at what time? What's the time now? Wow, 8 minutes to 8. Wow, okay. The next session would be a bit brief because this class was to end at 8, but I started late. We started like 6:30. So, we meet at exactly 8, and then the next session would be, I think 20 minutes would be enough to form a direction. So we can break at 8:20. So let's meet again at 8. Don't go anywhere. You just mute and we meet again at 8:20. Cheers, guys. So the second one is, so the first one is product review. The second one is service review, where we identify a specific service to to review. If anyone wanted this kind of service, then they can ask our review platform, and they will be given what other people think about that particular service. And then the last one is experience review, where we look at specific experiences, like now holiday, guys who want to go for holiday, or we look for acquisition of a certain product or a certain service within a certain company, or even within a certain website, or within a certain institution. Yeah. So we look at the experience. We are not only looking at the specific service, but the experience while acquiring it, while using it, and while living or continue using it. So those are the three. We need to pick one of the three. And then after we pick one of the three, what we have picked in, we go to now identifying which specific one. Is it clear now, Felista?
Yes, it's clear.
All right, perfect. So I've seen Mafrika has posted his. Okay. Mafrika has posted his. So we will wait until we've gotten all the reviews for everyone. Devi has posted his. And by the way, if your project isn't picked, the process is the same. So you can learn with the class that the project that we will have picked, and then implement it and ask every other person how to go about it. So the whole idea for the class is to learn. But if you have a specific project or problem you want to solve on your own, nothing is preventing you from pursuing it. But we are going to pick one project so that we are all on the same page in class. That's the main reason. Okay. All right. So Felista has posted hers. All right. We wait for. Mimi nilishaandika na siendi kuchange because we have 5 people, so there is need for being fair. So sitadanganya. You can trust me. I won't be biased. Whatever is majority, tunangoja Brenda. Brenda ameshasema. Devi amesema. Okay, everyone, ni yangu sasa. So this is what I had picked. Na nimeandika kwa notebook yangu. So we have 1, 2, 3 against 2. So Felista and Mafrika, you pick product review. And the call is okay. Sorry, I'm getting a call. So this one I'll call her back. Okay. So it's 3 against 2. But there is nothing. The implementation, the implementation and the machine learning part is not going to change any single bit. It's not going to change. But where the difference comes in is when you talk about experience, you're looking at it from when I acquire. When I am acquiring, let me pick on say home internet. The people providing home internet, there are so many. Yeah. we have a lot of home internet, and in this COVID, the internet providers have increased, and I'm so sure they're making a lot of money. So there is acquisition. First of all, there is that time of searching. Oh, there is the time where you've not settled on a vendor you're searching, and that is the time you're talking about. So there is acquisition. Now you've identified a vendor. And you want to know from this particular vendor. You've told them, now I want home. I want you to provide me with home internet. How was the experience? You've already identified that vendor. How was the experience during that acquisition? Were they prompt to respond to your questions? Did they? How long did it take before you finally got an internet? For instance, did they take you a week, a day, a couple of hours? Were the people installing internet at your place fast? Were they customer focused? How was your general experience during acquisition? And then after acquisition, there is now the journey you are in with. You're now experiencing their services. During complaints, whenever you have outages, when you call them, do they answer? When you want to upgrade, do they support you? When you want some answers from their website, do you get answers? How is the experience during that period of your life with them? And then when you now tell them, okay, now I think I'm done with you guys, I'm moving on. How was the experience? So experience review looks at the entire journey. Yeah, and it's most likely to end up in two types of users. The first type of users is those people who are actually still using whatever they acquired, and we have those guys who used it and dropped. So the thing with experience review, it is that is the complexity it brings. Yeah, but when you're talking about product review, you're just looking at that product. What do you have to say about it? What do you have to say about it? You can say, I love this product. These shoes are good. You have anything anything you have to say about it. We won't look at it in split as I've split the other one. And another good example to differentiate between the two is what David said. For example, holiday. I'm going for holiday. Holiday involves so many things. Your agency, it involves a hotel, it involves, so are you giving a review for the agency? Are you giving a review for the hotel? Or are you giving a review for the holiday camping site? Or are you just giving a review for the experience you had? So first of all, the agents were good, but when I go to the hotel was not so good, but I complained, they listened, they fixed this. So you have a lot of things to say, but within a specific component of that journey. So your experience is like a journey. It's like it has several components. So when you're talking about either a product or a service review, when it's a product, it's a specific product. When it's a service, it's a specific service. So hotel service can stand alone. What is the review you have to give about Hilton Hotel? You can say their food is really good, their rooms are very clean, but the employees are average. So you're reviewing Hilton, and that is a service, the service for Hilton. But someone who lived, a tourist or even a local person who came from Mombasa, lived in Hilton, went to Masai Mara, went back to Rongai, kula nyama choma, and went back to Wilson Airport, na akapanda ndege akarudi Mombasa. So that person has done several things and probably even used a certain taxi company. So experience review, someone wants to see I used this taxi company, I used Hilton, I used Wilson, and then I went to Masai Mara. How was the experience? Is this a worth holiday? So if someone wants to talk about the experience, they could say, okay, I went to Masai Mara, was perfect. Wilson to Mombasa was perfect. My only issue was with Hilton. So if someone wanted the same itinerary, if someone wanted to use the same itinerary, they'll probably pick it, but opt to stay in Norfolk instead of Hilton. Because the experience review has been, you've reviewed people who have done similar itinerary. So you're looking at the itinerary that was used, and you've reviewed all those comments, and now lumped them together. So that if someone wanted a similar itinerary, so that one is an experience of an itinerary, but it doesn't prevent you from reviewing a specific service within that itinerary. Felista, does it make sense now? Or you still feel it's more or less the same? It can be wrapped up. Oh, we lost Felista. Okay. She'll get the recording. All right. So I'm thinking we have three. We have 3 against 2. So as we had agreed earlier, we are going to pick with the word majority as picked, which is experience review. But we expect full participation on the contribution, because the implementation is not going to be any different. It's only that we have made it unique, and we made it unique, and I don't think I'm yet to get such reviews that look at experience. Okay. Okay. So with regards to experience, what kind of itinerary should we pick? That is the next question. With regards to experience, and I'm still going to ask all the 5 of us. We dropped Felista, so I'll ask all the 4 of us. We need to narrow down to the kind of experience the kind of experience you're going to review. So what kind of experience we'd like to review? So everyone can just describe the kind of experience they would like to review, the specific. If you are completely stuck, then we'll need to choose between product and service. So 5 minutes, let the ideas come through. So in this case, we will have four specific experiences that we want to explore, and we will pick top 3. Hey, we are few. I don't know how we are going to do this. We will all, okay. We are all going to list all of them, 4 of them, and then each one of us is going to pick one, and then apart from yours, you're going to pick one. So you pick one out of three, and the one you're picking, it's not yours. So the one that will have the highest number is what we will go with. So the first thing is we are going to list all of them in the chart. So let's go. Lakini sioni kitu yote inakuja kwa chat. Are we together? Okay. Brenda ameshasema yake. Mwafrika? Okay. Mwafrika amesema yake. Devi pia umesema yako. Okay. Acha niseme yangu nilikuwa nishaandika. So before we pick one, I would want each person who made a list to explain and defend their choice. Brenda umemek, Devi umemek, Mwafrika umemek na nimemek. So Felista sijika atarudi. Okay. So we start with Brenda. Brenda, go first. Just try and explain your thought process.
Okay. For school experience, I was thinking before a student, for example, wants to maybe I want to choose the school I want to go. Maybe I want to do computer science. But then I'm looking for a school where I can do, where it offers the best services, lecturers, hostels, environment. So based on what students have been saying about that particular school, based on all those factors that make the school, so I can choose the type of the school I want to go to based on all the reviews I get about that particular school.
Okay. All right, perfect. Devi?
Okay, so I picked acquiring loans experience because you had said that we should look for something that we interact with on almost a daily basis, or it affects a lot of people. So I was thinking that money really affects a lot of us, or we interact with it every day. So because a while back I got a chance to interact with a microfinance that was issuing loans on logbooks, and I got a chance to hear what clients were saying about the particular microfinance, and they were saying that they are afraid of that company, or they had a very bad experience by the moment that they were unable to just repay for certain installment, they came and took the vehicle, and the vehicle was returned in a bad state. Yeah, things like those. So I was thinking if you could, before you, and especially at this time where people are thinking about taking loans because businesses are going down and money is short, I think you will want to find an institution that will give you a great loan experience. Yeah, so that's why I picked those experience.
Okay, perfect. Mafrika, just type. I know you picked school experience. Just type your thought process so that we can see, and then I'll explain. Okay. Picked school experience because I think it is a neglected area in terms of data research. All right. So that's an opportunity. Okay, that makes sense. Personally, I picked home internet experience reviews. What was driving me was the timing where most people are now, the new normal is working from home, and people may have one or two things to say about their current experience. It could drive a conversation in either social media and stuff, and it could be a low-hanging fruit in terms of data availability. Yeah. So what you're going to do, apart from yours, you need to pick one of the available ones. So I don't know how this is going to pan out, considering school already has two. But just try, and I'm going to do this. Number one is school experience. Number two is acquiring loan experience. Number three is school experience. School experience B. School experience A. So kuna school experience A, kuna school experience B, kuna acquiring loan experience, na kuna home internet experience. So pick one, and it should not be yours, the one that you voted for. Yeah. Okay. So me, I picked mine. So when you're picking either one, if you're picking school experience A or school experience B, it doesn't matter because it's the same thing. But you need to specify for the sake of voting. For the sake of voting. So me, I've picked my option. For as long as you pick another one that is not yours. For the people who say the school experience, you can actually, for instance, Mafrika, if you're still interested in school, you can pick school experience A. For Brenda, if you're still interested in school, you can pick school experience B. So both of them will still be school experience. So that is how I think we can go with this. Okay. Mafrika? Mafrika? Mafrika sasa ndio atadetermine. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. It's interesting to see how we are making decision. I would really want to hear what made you pick the option you picked. Brenda, please take that. Let's start with Brenda, and then Devi, and then myself, and then Mafrika.
Mine is basically because of the timing right now and what is going on. Many people using the internet. So many people resorting to looking for. Yeah.
All right. You sound tired. I know. I know we are overtime. We are just wrapping up. Okay, we are almost done here. Devi?
I picked home internet because I've also been at that position of wanting to choose an internet service provider, and it wasn't an easy task to get to choose one. Yeah, so I think I agree with that.
All right. So I'll go and then Mafrika finalizes. The reason why I pick school experience, I like it. It's a good idea because right now a lot of people are learning, only that they're learning through the internet. So having to get those reviews, especially let's look, for instance, even data science and machine learning. Uh, the guys are wondering, where do I get this? What do I do this? Which meetup should I attend? So it's I would have picked it as my primary if it was a learning experience, because right now a lot of people are learning, including primary and secondary schools, government institutions. All schools are learning, but digitally. So parents would have one or two things to say about how their kids are learning. Is it good? Is it working? Should we just go back to school? So it's something that it's still very, very hot, and it's something that would definitely attract all the conversation. Yeah. So that's what made me pick school experience as the second option after home internet experience. And home internet experience, to my thoughts, is interesting because you can't learn without internet. So you sort out the internet, and if you learn, most likely the internet would come as an issue. Okay, Mafrika. Type. We leo type too. No problem. Are we with Mafrika? Ama he's typing. One big problem with Zoom is you can't see someone typing. Sawa Mafrika. Okay, so we pick it as our project is going to be home internet reviews. Yeah, the internet is really hot. If someone was to, okay, I agree, and nothing is preventing us from exploring. Once we do home internet, we can now do the various experience, and this is information that would be very, very helpful to so many people outside there, and that discussion can be for us to get started. We can actually get this data from. You can actually get this data from Twitter, social media. People are talking about these things. So it is a low-hanging fruit. It is a good project, and the data is readily available. And if we fetch data from Twitter, we will not only learn reviewing, but we'll also learn data cleaning for NLP, and quite a lot of things that is being done on NLP. We shall also revisit them here. So you'll be learning a bit of two of the same. You'll be killing two birds with one stone. So at the end of this, you'll know how to do reviews and some basics of NLP. Now, this is where our next exercise for today is going to be, and it needs to be done before next week, Monday. And the process, like I did with the other class, is I give you the assignment. You go do it and submit it by, in this case, since we are meeting on Monday, you need to submit it by, I think, Thursday or Friday latest. Let's work with Friday. So the task ahead is, fortunately for you guys, we have a notebook that has scrapping data from Twitter. So I'll create a WhatsApp group, put all our names in that WhatsApp group, and then I'll share the content for the scrapper. And then because we want to crowdsource the data, each one of us will scrap data. We scrap as many data as we can about home internet, anything to do with internet discussion. And then you can also scrap data to do with internet providers. You specify hashtag, maybe a provider for internet, and go through just your own thought process. The code is there, so what you want to download should be internet related conversation. Yeah, so internet related conversation. So that will be the assignment. So hopefully by the end at the beginning of next class, we will look at the data that we've consolidated. I'll consolidate and share this data, including the resources. And then in the next class, we start our notebook. Yeah, this notebook will bear all our names in it, and it will be published in GitHub. And we will be, as we build it, all the work that you're doing as a team will be put in that notebook. And any person who wants to know and understand your capabilities and where you went through learning this can actually consult that notebook, and they are free to contact any one of the people who actually you are working with, right? At the end of this, when we deliver this project, I'll write a blog as well and put it in my profile and use it to pull through the interest for guys to attend as a demo day where they can actually ask questions and get to see what we have done, our thought process. And in that demo day, like I said earlier, I won't be the one talking about the project. I'll talk about where we've come from and where we are at, but about the project, it's going to be you guys talking about them and probably answering questions. So it's a good platform for you to articulate your skills, and that's why I feel it is very, very serious and very, very important for you to take this exercise very seriously. That is the roadmap ahead. I've had a very long day today, so I won't be able to share that details today, but I promise tomorrow I'll make everything available, and then you guys can scrap the data and share at your own time. So the sharing, you send it to my email address. Just pasted it there, copy and paste it, robert.ayub@gmail.com. If you have questions, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp, and we can continue engaging even after today's class. So before today, after today and before next week's class, we can engage. Any question? Any question? Brenda?
No question.
We are good?
Yeah.
Okay. Devi?
I'm good.
All right. Mafrika? Good, perfect. So one last thing, today's class, was it worthwhile? Just say it was worthwhile or not, and then we close down. Brenda, today's class, what can you say about it?
It was worthwhile. I had to think. So it was worthwhile. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Devi?
Yeah, it was worth every minute, and it was great.
All right. All right. Mafrika? Ngwaro? Okay. Thank you, guys. Awesome. 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 Thank you, guys. And I think that's it. Let's commit to see this to the end, all the way to the end. Until the next time again, you guys have a wonderful evening, and remember to stay safe. This corona thing is real, okay?
Okay.
All right,
Yes.
cheers, guys. See you, bye.
Okay. Okay.
Bye.